Karibu Ibrah Network Lab. Hii ni kozi kamili ya Cisco Certified Network Associate. Okay, so here is the inter-VLAN routing lab, and here are the instructions that are going to guide us. So without wasting time, let's get started. So the first instruction, I've been told to ping between PCs and which ping successed. So I'm going to start from this PC, then to the desktop, command prompt, and into the command ping 10.0.0.131. This is the address of this desktop here. So press enter, and probably the ping doesn't work. So from this desktop to this desktop, the ping does not work. As you can see, the response time out. I'm going to this PC and enter the command ping 10.0.0.130. This is address of this PC here. So I'm pinging from this desktop here to this desktop. Okay, I'm getting the reply message. So which means this PC number 4 and this PC number 2, they are in the same subnet. But let us see now. Let us ping also from this PC to this PC. The command prompt and ping 10.0.0.3. Okay, also I'm getting the reply message. So the reason why from this PC, which is 10.0.0.3/25 network, when it's trying to ping this PC, which is in the subnet of 10.0.0.130, they are in the different subnet. Okay, so we have already seen from PC number 3 to PC number 1, the ping works. But from PC number 4 also to PC number 2, also the ping was successfully. But from PC number 3 to PC number 4, the ping was not able to reach. And also from PC number 2 to PC number 1, the ping message failed. Now the next instruction is we're supposed to assign PC 1 and PC number 3 to VLAN number 13. And PC number 2 to PC number 4, we're supposed to assign to VLAN 24. Let's go to this switch, CLI, and enable. Let us view first if there is any VLAN that has already been configured. So the command is show VLAN brief. There is only default VLANs, no any VLAN which was created here. And let me view also on this switch. So enable, show VLAN brief, Also there is only default VLANs. Okay, so I'm supposed to create the VLAN 13 and I'm supposed to assign PC number 1 and PC number 3 in this VLAN number 13. So I'm going starting from this switch here and the global configuration mode conft, so then VLAN 13 and exit. Now I have already created VLAN 13 from this switch. Now I'm going to assign PC number 1 and PC number 3 to this VLAN number 13. So okay, PC number 1, it is connected to via interface 501. So interface is interface first Ethernet 01. So the switch port mode access, then switch port access to VLAN 13. Then we are done. As you can see, it has already changed, which means it has changed from the default VLAN and now it is assigned to VLAN 13. And also let us create VLAN 24 from the same switch. Okay, now exit VLAN 24. Then I'm supposed to assign this VLAN 24 to desktop number 2 and the desktop number 4. So I'm going to start to assign the first this switch, namely the PC number 2. So exit interface 502. So the switch port mode is supposed to be access, then switch port access to VLAN 24. Exit. We are done. From this switch we are done. As you can see also it has changed, which means it is changed from the default VLAN, which is VLAN 1, and it has been assigned to VLAN number 24. Let us do the same thing to this switch here. So conf VLAN 13, the first VLAN. Also, I'm going to create VLAN 24, VLAN 24. Now I'm going to assign each VLAN to the specific PC. So PC number 3, it is in VLAN number 1. I mean like VLAN number 13. So interface first Ethernet 01, first 01, switch port mode access, then switch port access VLAN 13. Exit. Now I'm going to assign, as you can see, it has changed this PC number 4 to VLAN 24. So it is interface 402, switch port mode v access, then switch port access VLAN 24, and we are done. So we have already assigned PC number 1 and PC number 3 to VLAN 13, which we have already created VLAN 13 and VLAN 24 from this switch, also the same to this switch. And finally, we have already allocated this PC to their specific VLAN according to the instruction. And the next step, we are supposed to create a trunk between the switch and switch 1 and switch 2. So this link here between switch 1 and switch 2, we're supposed to configure it to be at the trunk. Now the trunk, this is a link which allow the multiple traffic of VLAN to be passed from this trunk link. So I'm going to this switch first, exit. It is interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1. So the switch port mode, it is supposed to be the trunk. As you can see, it is already been formed at the trunk. And also I'm going to do the same thing to this switch, which is interface gigabit Ethernet 0. So interface gigabit Ethernet 0/2, switch port mode trunk. And also indeed it has already formed at the trunk. Then step number 4, we're supposed to configure inter-VLAN routing by using Subinterface on router 1 gigabit Ethernet 0/0 interface, and we're supposed to assign IP address. This 10.0.0.1/25 for VLAN 13 and 10.0.0.129/25 for VLAN 24. So what does this mean? This means, as once you remember, these PC, they are first in different subnet, and we have already assigned them to the different VLAN. So for them to communicate, they are supposed to have inter-VLAN routing or router on stick. Without having that protocol, which means these desktop from different VLAN, they won't be able to communicate, even though they are physically connected to the same switch, but they are virtually segmented. So this PC, it is VLAN 13, this one it is VLAN 24. The same thing to this VLAN, to this switch, it is VLAN 13, this one it is VLAN 24. Now, this PC and this PC, they won't be able to communicate because they are virtually in different VLAN. However, they are physically, as you can see, they are connected to the same switch, but virtually they are different. So by using inter-VLAN routing or router on stick, it is going to enable this desktop to communicate to this desktop. Let me show you by ping from this desktop to this desktop, and you're going to see what is different. So I'm going to ping 10.0.0.131. This is address of this desktop, which is in different VLAN. This is a VLAN 13, this is a VLAN 24. Then once I press enter, they are not going to be able to communicate because first, they're in the different subnet. The second thing, they are in different VLAN. So as you can see, I'm getting the response time out. But once I ping from this PC number 3 to PC number 1, this desktop number 3 and the desktop number 1, they are in the same VLAN. So once I do ping, this desktop, they are going to be able to communicate because they are in the same desktop. Let me show you. So I'm going to write ping 10.0.0.2. Then once you press enter, as you can see, I'm getting the reply message, which means this desktop, they are in the same VLAN. Now, so let me show you by writing the command do show VLAN brief. So as you can see, we have already created VLAN 13 and VLAN 24. VLAN 13, it is already assigned to the interface FAR01. So what is interface FAR01? Interface FAR01 from our topology, it is direct connected to PC number 3. And VLAN 24, it is assigned to fast Ethernet 0/2. Now, what is interface FAR 0/2 in the switch? It is direct connected to PC number 4. So these PC, they are in the different VLAN. They won't be able to communicate. Now, the solution is we are supposed to create the inter-VLAN routing or router on stick. Inter-VLAN routing, we are supposed to have a router, as you can see here. So let me show you as we do here. So we're going to the router 1. Now, the first thing here, the interface of the router, they are administrative shutdown. So the first thing that you as a network administrator is supposed to enable it. So enable conf. So it is interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So I'm going to enable it, no shutdown. So now it is changed from red to green, which means it is up. And I'm supposed now to configure inter-VLAN routing by using router 1 subinterface, and we're supposed to configure subinterface of each VLAN that we have created from our switch. So very simple. As we are in this interface gigabit/0, now the command is interface, just like interface gigabit 0/0, then dot 13. Then once you press enter, as you can see, I have already entered in sub-interface of gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So I have created sub-interface. The sub-interface from this interface gigabit 0/0. Then the next command is we are supposed now to direct and say this sub-interface, it is going to be associated to this VLAN 13. So the command is encapsulation .1q, then the VLAN ID, which is VLAN 30. So this sub-interface, it is going to be associated to VLAN 13. So don't forget to put this. This is a VLAN ID. Now we're supposed to assign the IP address. So IP address, it is 10.0.0.1, and the subnet mask, it is /24. It is here. Here for VLAN 13, address that will be this one. So 255.255.128. This is /24. Then once you press enter, and we are done. We have already created a sub interface for VLAN 13 in our topology. Now let's go and create the sub interface for VLAN 24. The same thing. So I'm going to press the up arrow, and I'm going to change here. It was 13, now I'm putting 24, and encapsulation .1q, encapsulation .1q4. Then the next thing here, it is supposed to follow by VLAN ID. So it is VLAN 24. Then IP address, which is 10.0.0.0.1. It is here .129, 129. Subnet mask, it is 255.255.128. Then okay, here we have mispressed. Now we press enter. Now we have already created the sub interface of each VLAN. So in our router now, we have sub interface that is for VLAN 13, and we have already created sub interface for VLAN 24. So by having those sub interface, they are going to be this sub interface, they are going to enable this VLAN that we have created from our switch to be able to communicate. So this device from VLAN 13 is going to be able to communicate with device which is VLAN 24. And the next thing here that you're not supposed to forget is this interface that is connected from the switch to the router. It is supposed to be configured at the trunk, so as to allow the multiple traffic of different VLAN to pass from this interface. If you don't configure at the trunk, this device, they won't be able to communicate. So what is going on here? Let me first configure the trunk this interface from the switch. So it is interface gigabit Ethernet. So interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Then switch port mode, it is supposed to be at the trunk. Now, after we have already configured that interface to be at the trunk, when we try to ping now from this desktop to this desktop, they are going to be able to communicate, and the ping, it is going to be successfully. Let us do. So let us ping 10.0.0.131, and the ping, it is supposed to work. As you can see, now the ping, it is successfully and it is work. Now let us ping from this PC, which is also a different VLAN, PC number 2. So ping 10.0.0.130. Also the ping, it is supposed to work. And indeed, now the ping is working. So by having inter-VLAN routing, it is going to enable these devices from different VLAN to communicate. So inter-VLAN, it is a protocol that enable traffic from different VLAN to communicate. So what is going on here? Let me show you here in the simulation mode. But before I switch to the simulation mode, I will explain just in very simple here. So for the first time, this PC, it is in VLAN 13. This, it is in VLAN 24. When it's trying to ping this PC, which is in different VLAN, the ping message, it is going direct to the switch. Then from this switch, it is going direct to another switch. Then once it is alive to the switch, it is going to be sent to the router. Now, do you remember here in the router, we have already created this sub-interface of each VLAN. We was creating sub-interface of VLAN 13 and VLAN 24. So once the router, it receive the message from this switch, which it was the source message, it was come from this PC. The router, it will be, do you remember now, the router, it is making the forward decision. So the router, it is going to forward that frame direct to the next interface, that is sub interface of VLAN 24, and then that traffic is going to be sent direct to VLAN 24, and this device, it is going to reply. Let me show you the simulation mode here, and ping. To the switch, and another switch, then to the default gateway, its default gateway. So this traffic, it is going to send to its default gateway of this VLAN, which is VLAN 13, that which was sub-interface of VLAN 13. So the ping message for the first time, it is going to arrive to sub-interface of VLAN 13. Now the router, since it have two sub-interface of VLAN 13 and VLAN 24. Now the router, it is going to send this message to the next sub-interface, which is VLAN 24. Then this ping message, it is going to be back this device. Then this device, it is supposed to send the reply message. And indeed, from this device, then this device, it is supposed to send the reply message to the default router. Then the router, after it is received the reply message, it is going to send that frame direct to this PC. So to the switch, then to this switch 2, and once it arrives to the switch 2, it is going direct to PC number 3. And that's how inter-VLAN routing it's work. Thank you for watching my video.